Shumai GTA chums, we have our final car in the Bounties DLC, and here it is, a Vorschlaghammer, which you get to at Southern San Andreas, 1.8 million. Decent price. The Dominator FX was of course cheaper, but which one is best? One of these two is better than the other, but it's one of the best of the DLC, so let's get in it and let's customize it to the max, and then we'll talk about performance as we drive around in it. No, it's based on a Mercedes 190E or a 190D, it could be, and I think that's what we're probably going to build today. Drift tuning is something we can do. 200 grand, we're not going to do that, but we are going to do some customization. So I'm going to show you to start off with the liveries. So there's a few of these. There's more liveries unlocked as soon as you do the drift tuning, but you know they don't really suit the Vorschlaghammer, the Mercedes 190. Maybe you'd have the stripe, but honestly I don't remember seeing these with stripes. I remember these as a kid. They're from the 80s, early 90s. So let's have a look at the colour. This is the important bit. Primary colours. I'm going to go to a metallic colour, and I'm thinking something like a blue. Notice you can do the two-tone with the secondary colouring up the bottom. Pink, no. Some kind of pale blue, I think, a light blue would suit it nicely. Like mariner blue would be ideal. It's surf blue a bit too green for what I'm looking for. Nautical, alright, maybe. Ultra blue, no. Or a light blue. I'm thinking mariner blue is the one out of the two. Yeah, a bit more grey. Light blue is a bit more. Actually, it's got more greens in the light blue. Let's go with a light blue. Secondary, actually primary colour, let's put it on the pearlescent, so I just want to lighten it up a little bit more with a white. So if we find a frost white, no, ice white, that's the one. Okay, good. Secondary colour, we are going to go with a metallic, and again we're going to go with the light blue, just to make that. We're going for a classic build. I'll show you. You can do an AMG build with this as well. Crew emblem goes on the bonnet. Weird. And let's have a look at all the customizations. So there's quite a good bit of customization. Now these arch covers don't suit it all. The bolt-ons, they're both bolt-on. Body coloured are better, but no, I probably wouldn't bother with them. And you've got the wide body, which is probably the better one to use. It just fits so nicely, and it just perfect for the car, but not the kind of build that I'm going to build. This is for some kind of drift build, I think, something extreme performance, which we're not going to do today. Armour upgraded to max. Everything's upgraded to the max, by the way. Bumpers. So front bumper, what you need to do is put the Euro plates on. That just allows you to have a Euro plate. Notice you've got those fog lights. You can get rid of those. These fog lights do work, as I showed you at the start, and you can do a bit of a race bumper, but we're going to leave it with the Euro plates. Those are best. Rear bumpers. So what we have is stock. We have a bit of a few race build. Oh, that's the you're going to want to do that, the bumper delete, if you're going to build the ASAP Rocky build. And actually, did you have the livery for that? I think maybe the drift livery. I think there is a livery. I think it's in the drift liveries for AMG Rocky if you're doing that build. Let's have a look. So exhaust, we want to change that, and we want something double, I think, or chub. Notice it's got gold. All this gold stuff is in relation to AMG Rocky. We're going to do chrome, I think, or the chubby one looks good, but I want something classic as well. 9 grand, okay, we'll pay it. Big bore. I should have gone 10 grand with a big one, but I'm not doing that. Okay, grill. Now this is really in relation to the AMG. So if you want to do the AMG hammer, it's called the Vorschlaghammer because it means sledgehammer, which is related to the AMG hammer. You can do the stealth grill for that, or you can just do body. I think is there a body coloured one? Yeah, we can do painted grill for body coloured. We're not going to do any of these. The gold again is the AMG Rocky build. Stock is best with the chrome. I was going to black it out, but you see, I'm not sure it works. We've got the black wheels, and I don't think it works, unfortunately. Headlight covers. This bit of crazy stuff. Now this is AMG Rocky, the gold one, but it's wrong because the gold should be here. The actual cross should be where the lights shine out of, if that makes sense. You should be covering the triangle bits. So it's not right for AMG Rocky, but yeah, that is what it's inspired by, and that gold is probably again AMG Rocky, a variant of that, but the slats. So either of those two would do the AMG Rocky. Also, you got some front intakes taking away the lights, if you want to, track lights, but I really like it just stock. We're going to do stock, I think, or iridescent. Actually, iridescent adds a nice bit of character. We'll do that. Why not? Bonnet. That's what you want. Benefactor ornament. You put a gold ornament on if you want. But I'm going to go with standard, not gold. I think you need to have that ornament on this car. It's a Mercedes, you know. It's why not? I think it's a good addition. That liveries we've done already. Louvres. So I do like a Louvre on a car, but for some reason I don't like it on this. I don't remember seeing these with Louvres on back in the day. Plate. Now we've already got our European style plate. We can colour it in, so you can do it black if you want to, or red, or whatever you like, really. We could add a bit of an accent to it by going red, so let's do that. Just add something a bit of fun. Respray we've already done, but skirts. Sorry, I'm just flipping. These are the stock skirts, which look decent. They look like the original, so I think I'm probably going to leave them because they look good. I like them. Splitters again. These are all kind of race builds. If you're going to build the AMG, you might build something like the chrome, not the chrome, sorry, the painted splitter, probably painted black. Or gold if you're going to do the ASP Rocky. Right, spoiler. Now this gives you a traction bonus, but to me it ruins it. Now this is kind of a joke thing. That's the factory spoiler. Now that's what you want if you're going to do the AMG Hammer build. And it needs to be coloured in black basically. Ducktail doesn't really suit it. I normally like ducktails, but not on this, not that one at all. Maybe in a race build you could get away with it, and I'll probably use a spoiler for a race build. And this is the spoiler from the AMG, the Extreme one. But for me, it's a bit too much for this car, and even an AMG. So we're going to leave none. Sun strips, again, you can have that quick odd one, but we're not going to do that. Suspension, no, I've not lowered it to the max, but I'm going to. Some people might say that's too much, but it is a bit of cambering, which is a bit annoying, but it's not too much. I'm not going to notice that much. Transmission's done to the max. Wheels, now. This is the original rim. We're going to leave it. I wouldn't change it basically. So that means we need to do bulletproofs and tyre smoke black. So we're going to leave it stock because the stock rims are amazing. Now I was gonna limo it out entirely because I think that looks amazing to limo it out. But I was tempted to make it a bit more traditional and go with like a light smoke. Maybe I'll go in between and go a dark smoke to make it still of the era, but not too bad. So this is a car that I remember. It's a car I remember from my childhood or young adulthood. And I always thought, oh yeah, this is the car that I want, you know, as an adult. When I get a car, I didn't get this car. But by the time I could afford a car like this, I really couldn't afford to have an unreliable car because they were that old. So, and to get a good one, obviously, you're going to pay money, and you still need to keep it serviced. You need to keep a lot of work on it. Now, I like the registration plates. I like the way they're the European style. That is good. Driving it though, it's nice. It's a nice drive, but it's not the fastest. It's in the sedans class now. According to Gruffy 13222, it's fifth in class. But I'm going to say that, you know, prefer other cars. It's a Cinque Miglia. I prefer it by far, honestly. It's just got a better engine sound, and maybe that's what makes it feel like going faster. The engine sound, and that's what kind of lets the car down, really. The look is perfect. Everything is just right about the car. The lights all work the way you want them to, and it's a brilliant car. Just the engine sound is not AMG, and considering there's so much AMG stuff on this car, they clearly meant it to be some kind of AMG or drift build, so the engine sound just doesn't sound right to me. For that, it's not an AMG sound to it, and the performance isn't AMG either. But it's a nice car. It drives nicely, it grips nice enough on the corners. You can get the back end out, so it's not completely boring if you want to, so I'll show you that in a minute. I'll just get the back end flipping out. There you go. It can be quite unruly at times as well. It can be quite unruly, so but it's pretty easy to handle though. You need to really go for it around the corners and basically not be a fan of brakes to lose it, and it's quite difficult to lose it. What you will do is tend to lose grip and just slide for a rubbish corner rather than do a bad corner with regards to losing grip and smashing it out. So very good car, well worth it, but performance wise I don't think it's up there. I think the Dominator, the new Dominator is the one to go for kind of performance, but mainly because you can pull wheelies. It's more fun for driving around, more than it being a class-breaking, awesome, super awesome car. but I just think it's a more enjoyable car to drive. This is a more enjoyable car to look at by far. They've just perfected this. And let's have a look at the doors to end it. By the way, all the doors work nicely. If you want to look at digital the car addict, he's got it all on there as well. Manage vehicles. So there we go. There's all the doors. So you can see that the engine is nice. It's got that chrome look to it. It's a V8 in there. You got the walnut which went with the Mercedes, and although it's using
Bro, you sound
kind of
happy.
stock GTA look, it's still got the walnut look to it. So it's like they've put a bit of effort into it. The back seats. Let's look at the back seats because those are disappointed. They're kind of pixelated and rubbish. And I remember DCA was talking about this boot being rubbish, but I don't really look at the boot, but I do look at the back seats and quite a lot. And it's just not good enough for me. So there are a few things, but they're very minor. Is it worth it? Yes, it's oh look at that! I like the way you can see the intercooler underneath. It's got two there. It's got a radiator and an intercooler. But I like the way that it's just built. It's just built perfectly, and it drives okay. But the engine sound isn't brilliant, but the customization is very good. So for what it offers, and drifting, I hear it's good at drifting, but I'm not going to do it as a drift build because that's not how I remember the car. I've built it the way I remember it, so that's what we have. Got any questions? Drop them down below. Thank you very much for watching. Have a most excellent day if you're playing das GTA.